It's hot. It's hot. Come on. Let's hope it starts. Oh. Battery's not in there. Okay, battery's in. Let's see. It's been sitting for a while. Well, I didn't account for the fact that it was actually just gonna roll by itself as soon as I put the handbrake down, and now I'm kind of stuck in a awkward situation here. Oh, come on! I made the turn. We're rolling. Okay. If you want to see what I'm dealing with here, front. I'm so tired. Front of my drive is not there. Okay, well that took a lot out of me. Let's talk about the car. It's a 99 EK Hatch. Picked it up a couple months ago just before winter hit, so as soon as I got it, I basically wrapped it up like you saw. When I bought it, 3 things you shouldn't do when you buy a car. I went to look at it and bought it in the middle of the night. I went by myself, so I probably like missed so many things. And 3, I went there with my emotions because I was excited. I always wanted one of these hatches, and probably why I ended up buying it without actually properly looking at it. I got it for an okay price. I didn't even check the oil. I opened the hood, I looked at it, and I did drive it around, so it worked. But then since then, I wrapped it up, parked on the side, and I haven't even really looked at it until now. And now it's May, so that's like 5-6 months. That's half a year. I did just let it run for like 10-15 minutes every like month or so. Last 2 months, I kind of got lazy. I didn't do it. That's why the battery died, I think. Okay, we're gonna pop the hood. This little ghetto thing to open the hood. It works, kind of. It doesn't spring back in though. So this is it. It's a stock D16. So I honestly didn't care. I just cared that it was running so I could drive it home. The rust in here is okay. Let's see, it's a lot light. Oh, there you go. So I think it was painted at some point. Not like proper paint, probably just a spray can. So everything's flaking on it. This is probably like the worst of the rust. It's not like completely rotting. I was just thinking, but for now, we're just gonna get it up back to just looking nice. Fix whatever's broken. So one thing, like I said, inside this hood doesn't really lock always. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So far, worst of the rust on this car. I saw this, it looks easily fixable, or replace the whole hood. When this was closed, when I was looking at the car, I did run my finger through this and I could tell it was slightly off, and that's why I was like, something might have happened. And if you look closely, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but the paint does not feel, it seems repainted at some point. It doesn't look perfect too if you look at some of the fenders. So maybe there was rust and it was fixed, or there was an accident, they had to paint it or whatever. I was like, oh, not too bad. There's no rust here. This is the sad part I didn't see. So right here, it does not line up properly at all. The door sticks out just a bit. It's okay here. Since it was the first time seeing the car, I wouldn't have noticed. Here too, it's a little dark, but there's a huge gap in here. This one should have been obvious, but it does not line up properly. Because if you come on this side, it's a lot tighter on this side. Actually, this one's pretty bad still. But this, let's see if we can. Honestly, it's not looking too bad. Like, I swear it was worse. But the door is bad. This gap, like, my finger should not be able to go in here. That's for sure. Look at this one. I'm hoping it's just the hinges that bent, and it's locked on this side, but so I'm just hoping that just changing the hinge on the door will fix that at least, because that's probably the most obvious sign that this thing ran into something. Oh, actually, just remembered. This is a big obvious. Hood smashed in over here. So this front end definitely took something right here. The door scares me just because usually when things don't line up, it means the frame might be messed up and twisted, which is gonna be the worst case. And now this lock doesn't work. Oh, that's new. Well, we're gonna have to take a look at the hinges when I move the car a bit and see if that's obviously ruined or something, and then maybe that will be the answer to all our problems. So plan for now, I think I'm just gonna take off bumpers, fenders, whatever I can, and we'll see how the frame looks. That's probably that's the worst case scenario. So as long as the frame's good, I'm happy with the car. Just noticed this too. Bumper's completely out of line here. That's not so good. I'm gonna check the other side. Yeah, it's a bit off. I mean, that could be just not put on properly, hopefully. Front bumper, it's a bit off, but not horrible, not like the back. Oh yeah, this one's, yeah, tab's broken on that one. Wheels, got these beautiful steelies. Yeah, I think the brake pads are non-existent. I'm assuming they're gonna be the same for all of them. Oh, notice this now. This thing's kind of off. Oh yeah. Same thing on this side. It's a bit loose. Bit of rust here. That looks like an easy fix. This one's clean. This one's clean. This one is clean. Oh, you can see. Yeah, something went across this thing. But I'm just gonna start tearing all the fenders, bumpers all apart. We'll see what's on the inside of this thing. Alright, it's the next day. I got cold last night, so I didn't want to keep going with this, but this morning I took off all the bumpers and the fenders just to see if there's any rust underneath. So far, everything looks pretty good. This is the back. And then I took off the wheels too. Both back wheels were completely seized on there, but I just kind of hammered it out, it came out. Suspension's okay. It's old, but it's not like horrible. In the front, this is the door that doesn't line up properly, so I was kind of scared that this part would be bent or something, but seems okay. This is the worst of, I guess, the rust. There's a bit down here. There's a lot of surface rust, but that's fine. Like even this looks okay, doesn't look bad. The worst of it, on the driver's side, this is probably the worst rust I've seen on the car. I'm no expert, like body expert, but I mean, I don't think it's horrible. It's not like completely breaking off. Like, this is obviously the top layers coming off. There's some over up here. But yeah, the rest of it is actually pretty good. On the outside of the car, this part on the hood is the worst. Everything else is okay. But so far, I'm pretty happy.